This is the Always Direct podcast, and we talk with movers and shakers of this world to learn about the ups and downs they went through to get where they are now. Let's get started with the show.
Hello, everybody. My name is John Rayon, and I'm the host of the Always Direct podcast. And today I have a special guest. His name is Chris Heileman, and he is the CEO of Uccello's Hospitality Group. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing well, John. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. So, Chris, I've been reviewing what I can find online about you, and it seems like you got a lot of businesses going on, a lot of things happening. Could you tell me about it?
Yeah, so currently right now, I'm the CEO of Uccello's Hospitality Group. So we have 6 Uccello's Ristorantes here in the greater Grand Rapids area. And we also have 2 Herb Fire Pizzerias. So we have 8 restaurants total. And, we're doing pretty good right now.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like it. Is this a family business? Is this, are you working with, who's involved with your business?
Yeah, so it's a family-owned business. The Uccello family owns the restaurants, and I am the CEO of Uccello's Hospitality Group, which is the entity that oversees the operations of all 8 of our restaurants.
And so were you there? How long have you been working with the company? Were you part of the ground up situation, or did you come in after they were already established? Tell me about how it began.
Yeah, so I've been with the company 15 years. So I just had my 15-year anniversary at the beginning of October. So that was pretty exciting. So I came on board. We had 1 restaurant back when I started, and that was back in 2005. So we opened up 2 restaurants in 2005 when I joined the company, and I was the opening general manager of the Uccellos in Caledonia. So we ramped up to 3 locations pretty quick there, and I was the general manager for about 2 years at Uccello's Caledonia, which is just a kind of a suburb of Grand Rapids here,
Michigan.
And yeah, right here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So after about 2 years, the family had really a real desire to grow the concept and grow the company, and they had seen some things in me that they felt like I could be somebody who could step into a role to help them grow the company even further. And so we felt like we needed somebody who could oversee the 3 restaurants that we had at that time. And so I got promoted to the director of operations role. So and in that role, I was in that role for about 8 years, and we grew. We opened up a couple more Uccello's restaurants here in Grand Rapids, and those all were doing quite well. The Uccello's brand is pretty well known, a pretty well respected brand here in West Michigan, and so we did that for a while, and we were pretty successful, and right around 2015 or so, we decided we wanted to expand the company even further. So I had kind of seen, I was kind of paying attention to the restaurant landscape and seeing how things were kind of shifting towards the fast casual side. And so I came up with the idea to open a fast casual concept. And so the family and I, the founder, Faro Uccello, myself, and his son, Sergio, and his son-in-law, Mario, the 4 of us worked together on developing this new concept called Herb Fire Pizzeria. So we opened a fast casual pizzeria.
I'm on the website right now. It looks pretty good. Looks really good.
Yeah, it's really great. We've gotten great reviews. Our guests really love the pizza. It's very different from the pizza we do at Uccello's Ristorante. It's wood fire, and it's the business model is kind of like a Chipotle, where you go through and select your toppings.
Like Blaze, and there's a bunch of these new concepts popping up. And how are they doing?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
before COVID-19, how are they doing? Nothing counts anymore. So I'm not even going to ask post-COVID. Post-COVID, everything's screwed. Before COVID, how were they doing?
Before COVID, we were doing well. All of our restaurants were doing quite well. Urban Fire was doing well. We've got 2 of those locations. We started with 1. We opened up a second one. And so we went 2016, 2017. And actually, post-COVID, we're doing quite well also. The pizza, concept is very deliverable. Obviously, pizza restaurants have been having, the delivery model for a long, long time, going back to old school pizza shops. And that's where our founding family got their start, was in, the small mom and pop pizza shops. So we made quite a really nice pivot to delivery only and takeout only when dining rooms got shut down at the beginning of COVID, and it worked out really well for us. There was a pretty big learning curve in the beginning there to make adjustments and get used to everything, but we've done quite well, and we're in a good position. Delivery sales and takeout sales have done awesome for us.
Thank God. That's great. But you guys have, I'm looking on the Uccello's hospitality group website. You guys have large dining rooms. So obviously you can both do banquet and dining room and catering and host large parties and have a full dining bar while simultaneously delivering. But did you have your own drivers prior to the COVID?
No, we started delivery right after COVID. So we did in-house delivery and we did third-party delivery. So we had to, roll that all out right in the middle of everything. So that's where we pivoted from just takeout and dine-in only. We implemented our own delivery, and we implemented third-party delivery and ramped up our takeout sales, and it helped us survive through the first couple months, and now I'd say we're thriving and we're doing pretty well.
Good. So sales have not dropped significantly enough for you to be in trouble. You guys actually maybe grew a little. I mean, no. So if COVID was gone today, would you guys would just keep the whole delivery part, right? You wouldn't even mess around with. Now it's a whole nother area of income. Right.
Well, we were thinking about how can we implement delivery, because we could see what was going on in the landscape. It was growing a lot. The third-party delivery companies were expanding. They were offering a lot of restaurants were offering delivery through third party, and so we were trying to figure out how can we do delivery. We've got these huge at Uccello's. We've got these huge dining rooms and sports bars and sports lounge areas. If we're full on a Friday and Saturday night and we're trying to implement doing delivery also and adding another layer to our business, how are we going to do that? So we never could figure out how we were going to do it. COVID helped us figure that out because we didn't have the dining rooms anymore. So we said, okay, we can focus all of our attention on delivery, and we're going to implement focus everything on takeout, and we're going to implement delivery. And we figured it out. We were able to do that because we didn't have the dining area to kind of slow things down and take our focus away from it. So it really helped us out.
Definitely. Yeah. You know what? It may turn out to be a blessing for you guys. Now you can, like you just said, focus 100% on delivery. And then once the dining room gets reopened, you'll be able to manage both of them, I think, much easier, because you've had a chance to focus on one for a period of time and then another one. So that's great. I mean, who knows? You might, COVID-19 might actually be better for you in the future, minus the terrible deaths and everything that's happening to our economy and what's happening right now with with Trump and Biden. Right. So are you guys planning on, now all of these are corporate locations, none of these are franchises, correct?
No, we don't have any franchises. We're offering franchises for Urban Fire. We haven't gotten to that point yet, but that is available if anyone goes to our website and wants to check it out and is interested in franchising opportunities. You can go right there, or they can contact me.
Sure. Okay, good to know. Urban Fire is you guys are the franchisors, now you're starting to sell them.
Correct.
Cool. And are those your books? Did you write those books up there?
No, those aren't my books, but I definitely am an avid reader, and those are ones that I'm a big fan of. The Traction series from EOS and Gino Wickman. I
Yeah.
highly recommend those. Yeah.
So how did you get into the restaurant business? Before you worked for this company, were you a waiter, GM, own? Well, what's your experience come from? You seem like you're seasoned.
Well, thank you. Yes, I would say I would definitely call myself seasoned. I started my first job I ever had was as a dishwasher, and so I started out um, back when I was. It was a summer when I was going to turn 16. Um, School got out, and I was thinking, man, it's going to be a great summer. I'm going to spend time going to the beach, hanging out with friends, and my parents had other plans. So right at the end of school year, beginning of summer, they said, get in the car. We're going to take you around, and you're going to fill out some applications. You're going to get a job. And by the way, you're going to start paying rent, and paying for all your own stuff, welcome to the early stage of being an adult. So they took me around to all the restaurants around our house, and I filled out some applications, and I started I started at the Hong Kong Inn. That was the place that called me back and had me come in for an interview, and they hired me. So it was a Chinese restaurant downtown Grand Rapids called the Hong Kong Inn. And the cool thing is where my office is right now, the building is right across the street from where the restaurant used to be. It's not there anymore, but it's kind of a full circle type of thing. So, the spot where I started out in this business as a dishwasher is, right across the street from where my office is now as a CEO of the company. So that's kind of cool. That's where I got started out as a dishwasher. And I wouldn't say I was a great dishwasher back then. I think I only made it a couple of months at that gig. And then after that, I ended up, there was a Burger King a couple blocks away from my house. And I think that's somehow, I can't remember if I, quit or if I got fired. I don't think I got fired, but from the Hong Kong Inn. But then my parents dropped me off at Burger King and said, go in there and get an application. And so I got a job there. And that's really where I kind of started to excel in the restaurant business. I was really good at all the stations that I worked, the drive-through, making the burgers and working the fry station and all that. And I actually got promoted to be a manager. So I worked there all throughout high school. And then once I graduated from high school, I briefly went to community college and dropped out of that. I'm not, I wasn't really a great student. Wasn't really college wasn't for me, but Burger King offered me a position as a manager, and I accepted it and did that for a while, and then I kind of jumped around a lot in the restaurant business, a lot of different restaurants around town, and I did every job you can think of. I've worked as a busboy. And a host, a server, and I did that for a while. And then I got into on the culinary side, into the back of the house. I got a job. I was working in a pizza place. Some friends of ours had a pizza place. They lived across the street from us, and so I started working there, making pizzas and delivering pizzas, and did well at that. And then the first, I would say, real restaurant that I worked at was I got a job at the Olive Garden, and I was the breadstick guy. So I learned how to start out just making breadsticks. You take them out of the package, you put them in the oven, take them out of the oven, put the butter on there, put them in the warmer, and I did that. And I worked my way down the line until I finally got down to the saute station, and I would say I excelled at that quite a bit and really loved that. And so that kind of really got my culinary career started out, and worked at tons of different restaurants around town in the kitchen, working multiple jobs. And I ended up working at a restaurant called Charlie's Crab here in Grand Rapids. It was CA Muir restaurant. They had many restaurants across Michigan and the Midwest and down in Florida. Pretty well-known seafood, high-end, fine dining seafood restaurant, and got a job there as a line cook, and did that for about 6 months. And the chef there ended up leaving, and a new chef came on board. And Chef Dave, he was one of my mentors, and I have to say, he really helped me out a lot. He saw something in me that maybe nobody else saw, but he came and approached me and said, "I need a sous chef. Are you interested in moving up? What do you want to do?" And I was like, "Yeah, that would be great," because I was a pretty good line cook, and he was looking for somebody who could really expedite and run the window on the other side, as a chef, and coordinate everything. So he asked me, "Hey, can you fill that role?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll give it my best." And I ended up excelling at that, and I call that my culinary school because I had no real culinary background experience. I didn't go to culinary school, and but I learned a ton about how to make soups and sauces, how to butcher meat, fish. Learned a ton about seafood. So it was a great experience for me.
Wow. So, but real quick, so now with all your line cook experience and all your history, as of right now, as the GM, as the head honcho running the whole organization, how often are you in the restaurants physically, and how often do you have to jump in and actually, sometimes fill in? Does that ever happen anymore?
It doesn't. Well, right now, I try to be very careful about how often I'm in the restaurant, and because of COVID, we've got to.
No, I know, but I'm talking about. I'm actually talking about normal times. Yeah, COVID is
normal times. There's been a few times where we've been short in the kitchen where this was probably about before COVID, about almost a year ago, at the restaurant downtown, which is right next to where my office is, and it's in the same building. So I was just up there hanging out in the kitchen, and ended up figuring out that we only had one guy in the kitchen. Everybody else had called off, and he was on his own, and he was trying to run the line by himself. So I noticed that, and so I kind of jumped in to help him out. And as I was cooking, I'm asking him, "What's the spec for this? How does this go? Where is this at?" Trying to figure out where everything is, but just trying to make it happen, and doing the best that I could to help him out. So
sure.
I've done that. I'm really good at the thing that I'm really good at helping out is when the restaurant needs help is jumping in the dish room. So
yeah, but
that's the hardest job. Yeah, but it doesn't, you don't have to have any training really to do that. You can figure out how to load the dish.
So is all the restaurants different? Are all the restaurants different setups, different menus, everything? Because if how do you not know what the specs are? Are they all different types of concepts? Seems like Urban Fire, I know there's two of them, but Uccello's, don't they all have the same layout? No, not Uccello's. I'm sorry. There's 8 restaurants. 2 of them are Urban Fire. What are the other 6?
The other 6 are Uccello's.
Uccello's, okay. And are they all have the same menu, or they're different?
Yeah, they all have the same menu for sure. Yep. Each restaurant, each Uccello's is a little bit different. It isn't like an Applebee's that it's kind of a cookie cutter. Everyone is stamped out. Some of them have, one of them has been built from the ground up, and all the rest of them are. We found a location and we converted it into a Uccello's. Like one of them was a Max and Irma's.
Yeah.
That went out of business, and we went in there and turned it into a Uccello. So the physical layout of the restaurants are all different.
Gotcha. And so if somebody were to open a restaurant, would you recommend building from the ground up, or would you say find something that you can convert? And now that you've done
I
both.
would say find something you can convert. Yeah, convert something. Find something you can find a great deal on. And let's face it, it's an unfortunate time for a lot of operators now. But I think there's going to be a lot of great deals available for a strong company who wants to expand and looking for spots that unfortunately somebody went out of business and turned it into your concept and take advantage of the great opportunities that are out there with real estate that are could be once in a lifetime opportunities.
Yeah. How's the Michigan area? Are you guys seeing a lot of businesses just close up shop?
We're seeing some. A lot of restaurants are hanging tough and making it through. You've got the PPP loans and you've got the EIDL. There's been some really great opportunities for some grants in the area that small businesses are taking advantage of that are out there. So there's some tools. There's some ways that businesses can make it through this time, the tough times that we're going through right now. But at some point, those are going to run out. Especially if we don't get something else figured out for a stimulus and maybe another round of PPP loans.
Yeah, but the PPP is so stupid. I mean, listen, everybody took it and you needed it, but you're shutting us down. And then you're saying we have to spend majority of it on payroll. So how can I survive? I mean, what are you talking about? Yeah. I cannot pay them. Otherwise, I'll be out of money by the time it's time to open. It doesn't make any sense. They don't understand how business works. Yeah. They thought it was a good idea so we don't have a bunch of layoffs. But, if you have to pay your staff, then I don't even want the loan anymore because I'm not open. I mean, not for delivery business, but majority of restaurants don't deliver. And not everybody can pivot like you did. I mean, you did a great job. Yeah. A lot of people, this was a disaster. I'm in Illinois. It's a disaster.
Right. Yeah. It worked well for us because we still had people working and we had brought people back on and our business was ramping up. So You're right. It wasn't a great fit for every single operator, especially the ones that had to close down. It didn't make any sense at all. Yeah. It was great for us because we were open, we were operating, and we were ramping up, and we still are having problems finding people. We're constantly recruiting and hiring right now because it's tough. That's our biggest challenge right now.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. What's your strategy for finding? Let's start with the kitchen cooks. What's your strategy for finding cooks?
Right now, the best way to get in touch with people and get your name out there that you're hiring and you're looking for people, Indeed is the best tool right now. It's it really works well. So we do all of our recruiting through Indeed, and so we just try to focus on our core values and focus on the fact that we're a family-owned company and that we're open and operating and we're kind of thriving in this situation. So appealing to people who are looking to be a part of a family-owned company and to have that kind of stabilization, knowing that we're not going to close down anytime soon. We've got 8 restaurants and all of them have stayed open the entire time through COVID, and making sure people see that and realize that, that there's the opportunity and it's going to be there long term. It's not, kind of, on shaky ground or, hey, if I go to work for this company, is it going to be open in a couple months?
Yeah, absolutely. So what is the owner, the Uccello family? What do they do? Are they involved in the day-to-day operations? Why did they bring on a CEO instead of making themselves a CEO or the son?
Right. Yeah, great question. So the founder, Faro Uccello, is they're all very hands-on. They own their individual restaurants, like the son-in-law. They have their own restaurants that they own. But they also want to live the life of an owner of a restaurant, and and be able to, have somebody in place that can oversee the entire operation. They chose me, thankfully, and fortunately for me, they chose me to be in that role, and felt like I would be the best person for that position. And so here I am.
That's awesome. So can you believe that we're still going through this COVID-19 shutdown?
Yeah. And I feel like we're going to have to really be prepared to make some pivots again, because I feel like it's starting to ramp up again in the tough situation.
They shut us down, Chris. I don't know.
Did they really? No,
all the restaurants here in the Cook County, DuPage County, and basically Chicagoland area, even farther than all shut down. No restaurants, no dine-ins, no bars, you cannot go into any place. Panera Bread, fast food, everything shut down. Drive-through, carry out, delivery, curbside,
Wow.
and all these people, like all these restaurants I drive by, I just, my heart sinks, because they're just not going to make it. I know they can't make it. Even if you got loans, I mean, you have to pay the loans back eventually. You're going to be, I don't know what's going to happen, but if you would have told me 9 months ago that it's still happening, I would have said, you're nuts. You don't know what you're talking about. Now, here we are, still going on, and they're shutting us down again. And I'm sure you're going to get the same thing.
Yeah, I remember having a conversation with somebody in my building and saying, this was probably, I don't know, March. I think it was in March.
Sure.
Hopefully by April this will be over. Maybe May at the latest.
At the latest.
And we were thinking it was just going to be a couple of weeks, or maybe the most, a month or two. But yeah, you're right. Here we are still, and we're going to have to deal with the same situation that we were in at the beginning. I think it's moving that direction everywhere, and obviously it is in your area.
Yeah, they shut us down over here, and I just saw, one of the local newspapers said that Governor Pritzker is going to increase it again, even more aggressively, because they before it was barbershops and gyms, and they just shut down restaurants and bars now. But I heard that they're going to now shut down gyms and bar and salons again. So I don't know what's going to happen, but if there's anything that we can definitely get out of this conversation today, Chris, and this is for the audience, is that when God gives you lemons, you got to make lemonade. All right. So you guys did not do any delivery before. 8 restaurants, no delivery. All of a sudden, boom, you get shut down, and you had to come up with a strategy, implement the strategy as quickly as you can, pivot to where you need to be, and hire as quickly as you can, train them, and figure out how to turn that lemon into lemonade. And you did, and now you guys are doing fantastic. And hopefully you can continue growing as soon as this is over. Because, I mean, you have 8 restaurants, and I'm assuming you still want to grow to 10, 12, 14 restaurants, maybe more. Is that correct?
Yeah, we definitely want to grow. We want to grow our franchising program. We want Urban Fire, I think, can really be a great concept and fit in a lot of different markets. And so we want to grow that concept through the franchising program for sure. And so, the delivery, we were delivering the following week after the shutdown. I mean, I can't remember what day the shutdown was. I think it was towards the end of the week or on a Monday, and we were delivering that week. Like, we rolled it out right away. So, like you said, the lesson to be learned is you got to be ready to make, strategic pivots. You got to have a great team in place like that. That's what allowed us to be successful. And, not only that, but the ownership family, their wheelhouse was pizza, takeout, delivery. And so they knew exactly, hey, this is what we got to do, and this is how we do it. So all of it as a combination, all of us together, we were tremendously resilient that first week, and we made it happen. And we're doing good right now. I mean, we're definitely not out of the woods. We had a couple of months there that were really tough on us, but we're moving in a great direction right now. And so if it happens again that we've got to shut down the dining rooms, we're ready to turn that switch on and go full into delivery and takeout and make that as successful and profitable as we can.
That's fantastic. Do you guys do any direct mail marketing?
We've done it in the past. Right now, we're not doing any. We're sticking to mostly digital and focusing on that. But we've done a little bit of that in the past. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to end this podcast. It's been great talking to you. I just want to let you know that if you need any help with, I have a friend who owns Blue Sky franchise company. They help sell franchises for restaurants. He's a great guy. I had him on my podcast not too long ago. His name's Tom Dufour. If you're interested, I'll send you an email with his contact information.
Yeah, for sure.
He's very reasonable and super duper experienced. He's awesome.
I think I'm connected with Tom because I feel like he was with I think he was with Francorp before, and that's who we worked with a long time ago when we were.
Oh yeah, he was.
So I know the name. Yeah.
Yeah,
Francorp is a Chicago company too.
Chicago company. I know. I met the owner. I forgot his name, but we didn't. Yeah, I met
Don
him. There it is. Yeah,
Don Barorian. Yeah.
Something. Don something. Yep.
Yeah, I think I know Tom. Yeah, but yeah, definitely. If you want to shoot me his information, that'd be great.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely.
You know, have contacts.
He's good to know, and you know what? He's full of knowledge on expanding through franchising. He knows everybody.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, he's a good referral guide. Listen, Chris, it's been great talking to you. I really appreciate you coming on the show. Now we've met, and I hope that we stay in touch.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you for having me on, John. It was a pleasure, and I enjoyed it. And yeah, definitely. Let's keep in touch.
Thanks for listening to the Always Direct podcast. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.